would you prefer fashion trends or personal style?
I think that everybody has a potential of having a it factor. I don't think that every it factor is made for social media.
I couldn't believe when I read that you were banned on social media for promoting social injustice.
They call me a terrorist.
Wow. I want to know, we'll get into everything. Who is Tiffany Smith? Welcome to the Sow and Seed podcast, Fashion by Faith. I am your host, Nicole Mays Jackson, and today we have a remarkable guest joining us. She's none other than Tiffany Smith, the visionary behind #ByTiffanySmith. Tiffany's journey is a testament to resilience and creativity in the face of adversity. From her beginnings as a fashion blogger to her evolution into a powerhouse in social media strategy, Tiffany's impact is undeniable. She's not just a creator, she's a beacon of empowerment, using her platform to uplift and inspire others. Through her experiences, she's navigated challenges with grace, turning setbacks to opportunities. From launching her own successful apparel line and empowering Black creators in the digital space, Tiffany's dedication to authenticity and empowerment shines through in everything she does. Join me in welcoming the unstoppable force, Tiffany Smith.
Girl. I'm trying not to blush and cry at the same time. That was beautiful. Thanks, y'all.
That's why I was like, we gotta get it, because I want everyone to know who you are, because everything that you're doing is what needs to be done.
Thank you.
It is. So.
Oh my goodness, thank you. I needed to hear that.
You're welcome. So we are gonna do some icebreakers to start off. Okay. So with this one, it's gonna be fashion, faith, and content creation.
Ooh, I love that.
Okay. All right. So in your journey for storytelling, as far as fashion, do you prefer the aesthetics or, being able to describe fashion in long storytelling? Would you prefer IG, TikTok, or YouTube?
Ooh, I love all three for different reasons. So if I'm just going to show a look, it's going to be IG.
Okay.
If I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of how I captured the look, it's going to be TikTok.
Okay.
And if I want to tell you how I shopped and how I saved $20 and how I couldn't curl my hair or something, I'm going to do YouTube. So I like all three.
Okay. All right. So when doing content creating, solo photo shoot, or would you like the collaborations?
I love to collaborate.
Yeah.
Like the solo shoots are fun, don't get me wrong, but when you're able to put your creativity with someone else's creativity, boom.
When I saw on your IG, I was like, come on, creativity. Because I saw a collab one that you did, and I also saw you had a photo shoot with New York Fashion Week. And so you had the yellow in the background, and you were just standing there, and the models were behind you. And I was like, come through.
I love it. Like, the fact that this is my life now, it catches me off guard sometimes, but yes, I absolutely love the collaboration and being able to go to Fashion Week last year, even though I was covering it, being in the room and the space, the energy here in New York, like, oh my gosh, it was so fun.
It was my first Fashion Week, so being in the mix of everything, it was bomb.
Yeah.
It was.
We got to do two-peat this year, girl.
Two-peat, okay? So would you prefer fashion trends or personal style?
Personal style.
Let me tell you something. All day, every day.
All day, because the trends are going to come and go. Like, they circulate. Sometimes I look at old pictures when I did follow trends, like, ooh.
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
Yeah. When I see you, and even when I first met you, okay? So first, let me tell everybody how we first met. So,
yes,
so,
we'll get into that.
We came to the Fashion Bomb Daily Fashion Show, right? And
amazing show.
It was an amazing show. Shout out to Claire Summers.
Shout out to Claire.
Yes. And so being there, I saw this beacon of light. I'm over there going on the red carpet, y'all. I see these red glasses. I see this hair. I see this doll dress. I was like, okay, who is this? And you just had such a great personality, and you were I could just tell you were down to earth. you know, and so just talking to you, connecting with you, you were really genuine. And
I love that. You came up and tapped me, and I had looked at you and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. She's like, I could already tell you was a star. You were so kind, and you can feel people's energy when you get up to them. You complimented me on my dress, and I was really like nervous about the dress. So you complimented me, just gave me that. Just like now, like you just pour into people. This is our second time meeting, and every time I meet you, it's always just. It's love.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I'm going to be in your suitcase going back to Houston.
Oh, you going to look. You can be in my suitcase, and I'm be in your suitcase going to Philly.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to be in your suitcase, Philly/New York.
Yes.
So
back and forth.
Yes, back and forth. So speaking of Philly/New York, right? So you live in Philly, but you from North Carolina.
Come on, let's
Petey Pablo.
Petey Pablo. Shout out to him. Yes, he put North Carolina as far as songs on the map because we were doing the thing, but people didn't really know about us. But North Carolina girl.
Yes.
In the big city.
In the big city. So how did you do that, you know, transition from North Carolina to Philly to New York to...
Well, it's kind of, now it's easier for me because my husband was past military. He was in the Air Force. So packing up our whole entire house and moving to a new state has become a thing in our family. So he received an amazing job offer to come out to Philly. And it was truly how God works because we were actively looking for a house in North Carolina. We've been putting in bids and we kept getting outbid or something will fall through or something crazy. And then this wild offer appears. And I'm like, Philly?
God.
Like Philadelphia. And we packed up and we moved up here, and it's been such a blessing because now I'm in access to New York, so I can easily get up here. And you know, being in North Carolina, Atlanta was kind of close, but that was still a 6-hour drive. Whereas now I can be in New York in under 2 hours. So it just helps with what I'm trying to do. So we came on up here and we've been rocking.
So how long have you been in Philly?
I think we're about to hit our 2-year mark. We haven't been here that long.
Okay, so you haven't been here that long. So do you prefer barbecue from North Carolina or a Philly cheesesteak?
Barbecue, girl.
Me too. Look. You know, I'm from Houston, so you know the barbecue is on point.
Let me tell you what, I'm country and I sound like...
Listen, me too. Me too.
I sound like deep fried butter, so I love my good soul food. Give me the mac and cheese and the yams and the collard greens and the barbecue. We're going to have a good time.
Okay. So what about, so in Philly too, and I'm going to ask you this for the back and forth, and then we can kind of get into it, because I didn't even know what this was called, okay? Now, you think you from the country. I am from Houston, and so I was like, okay, she's from Philly, you know. I mean, she's not from Philly. She's from North Carolina, but she's living in Philly. You know, how can I do like Philly versus North Carolina? And so I was like, would you rather a Wawa? Do you know what a Wawa is?
Girl, it is the best gas station ever. Look, I had never heard of Wawa. And then we were driving up to Philly when we first moved up here. So we stopped at a Wawa. And I opened up the doors and it was like, oh. And I was like, what's happening? I'm like, what's happening? This magical place. And we had...
Not the magical place.
Look, they had milkshakes and they have food and it's clean. I'm a neat freak. It's nice and clean. Every Wawa is amazing and the food slaps. So I'm a Wawa girl.
Y'all are not gonna believe what I found. I found a Wawa. Do you hear me? A Wawa. We're about to see what's inside of this Wawa, y'all. Let's do this.
I'm a Wawa girl.
So you'll take Wawa over Bojangles because y'all have a Bojangles in North Carolina.
I ain't say that. Hold up.
So which one would you choose?
I'm gonna go with Bojangles.
Really? What do you like at Bojangles? The chicken?
Everything. The chicken, the
biscuits?
fries, and the biscuits.
Okay.
And they got the seasoned salt on the fries.
Not
it's just
the
different.
salt.
Yeah, it's like a seasoned salt. It's salty and sweet, but not too sweet. Just a little hint. It's
Can you
good.
believe I have never been to a Bojangles? My friend said, "What is wrong with you?" And when she said,
We gotta get you to
Wawa,
Bojangles.
I am going to take a trip to Philly. I'm going to get on that train, and I'm going to take a trip so that I can go to New Orleans. Lord Jesus, my husband from New Orleans, North Carolina, to go to
Yes.
Bojangles,
Yes.
and then go to this Wawa.
Wawa.
Girl, I ain't never know
Wawa.
what a Wawa was.
Now I haven't seen a Bojangles up in Philly, so there is one. I'm gonna find it, but I know when I go home,
yeah.
I hit that Bojangles
So how
hard.
often do you go home?
I try to go home every few months. My mom is there, my mother-in-law is there, most of my family and my husband's family is there. So we try to go home every few months, and then our boys go down there for the summer.
Okay.
And we get like 2 months break. So we
I
enjoy
love that. I saw that you are a boy mom.
I am.
I
I'm
love
a boy
that.
mom.
I love
love my
that.
boys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Junior and Major. Hey babies.
Shout out, shout out. So I want to know, we'll get into everything. Who is Tiffany Smith?
Yes, I am a wife, a mommy of two.
Okay.
I have a 16-year-old and an 11-year-old boy mom. Love that.
Yeah.
They've taught me so much, and then I'm excited to teach them a lot as well and make sure that they're well-rounded men. I think it's very important. But yeah, I started having a regular 9-to-5 career. I was administrator for early childhood.
Okay.
Tiff love the kids.
Tiff
I
love the
children.
kids. You
I
gotta
love
love the
children.
kids.
And when COVID happened, the tasks that we were asked to do just drastically changed.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
they did.
But the money stayed the same. So
Yeah.
I was working these crazy hours, and prior to that, I was doing my content creation and social media stuff like on the side. I kept it like on the side, and yeah, with COVID, it just really had me shift gears.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
think
like,
COVID
okay,
had
try.
everyone shifting
Yeah,
gears.
yeah. It had me bet on myself, and I was like, let me just try this for a little bit. And during that time, my oldest son was going through surgery, and they gave me such a hard time at work about taking time off for him and stuff. And I was like, this don't feel right.
Right.
Yeah. So I switched things up, and I was able to open my athletic wear brand.
Yes.
Shout out to the Thickish girls,
Yes, I
everyone that
love
rocked
that.
with me.
I love that. I know that, body positivity is something that you
Yeah.
promote, which I love, love, love. And
Yeah.
so, tell us a little bit about your apparel line.
Yeah.
Curve and Cardio.
Yes, it was curves and cardio.
Curves and
It's not
cardio.
active right now
Okay.
because I couldn't do all the things. I had to put something down. And again, like I said, I'm a perfectionist. So if I can't do
and me
it
too.
right,
You
then
don't
I'm
want to
just,
do it at all.
I
But what
don't-
was your inspiration behind that?
Because I was a plus size woman working out and couldn't find nothing to put on. Like, sweatpants are cool, but you want to have a little something.
You want to have a little something
little
to feel a
something,
little shimmy, shimmy.
A little shimmy, and then stuff that can actually keep up with my rolls and my movement of my body. Because if I do a squat, I don't want to be fighting with my clothes the whole time, So I was like, if I can't find it, let me make it. And then
Yeah.
I was like, let me add cute little slogans to the t-shirts and make us feel good and make us
Yeah.
feel empowered about our bodies, because we only get one.
We only get one.
Society is quick to tell us that you have to look a certain way or sound a certain way.
Right.
But your body is your body, and you should really embrace it. And if you want to improve it or you want to do something different, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the one that you got right now, you should honor it.
Honor it at all times. You have to at all times. So I love that. When I saw that you had the apparel line, I was like, okay. And the body positivity is something that I think no matter what size you are too, you have to love on yourself.
You
Because if
have
you don't love on
to.
yourself, nobody else will. And so you have to love the skin that you're in. And it starts with the inside too.
It starts with the inside, and then
Yeah.
too, there are people right now who are sick and shut in, and they wish they could
Can just get
do
out and
stuff
do things.
So on the flip side of that, I always tell my plus size lady, love your curves,
Yeah.
keep them, but still embrace doing things that's going to make your body feel better. You know, drinking your water, moving your body. These aren't to lose weight or look a certain way. It just
It's
makes
to be
you
feel
better.
good because when
Yeah.
you look good, you feel good,
You
and
feel
people don't
good.
understand that.
They don't.
They don't. And so I saw you too online in your apparel, and I saw that you were working out and you had the laundry detergents, and I
Look.
was like, look, okay, come on now.
Because, I mean, one of the things when I was blogging, I'm an old school Instagram girl.
I saw that. I was
Yes.
like, you said I'm an OG on this. Y'all
OG.
just coming into this. I'm an OG influencer. I'm an
Look.
OG.
Because I remember when Instagram was new,
Right.
I was literally pregnant with my youngest son. And like I said, he's 11 now. So I've been in this thing. But back then, it was truly I want this app because it looks cute or whatever, but the body positivity piece needed to be there. We needed to be seen. And that's back when the internet was actually fun and you could find communities and just seeing all these other plus size women. Because at the time we didn't have a lot of choices for shopping. Okay, if you go to this store, they have a size 2X. Or if you go to this store and shop the men's section, you can wear this. So I'm just getting those tips and stuff was just like so fun, and then adding to it, and it was just a fun time. So yeah, OG with Instagram, posting and all of that
So
stuff.
back in the day before Instagram, what was your posting when you were the OG influencer? Like what platform did you use?
So I was pretty much Instagram girly, and my big thing was truly showcasing how you can do things for a budget, right? Because again, I'm a mom of two. I worked in childcare, and we didn't make a lot of money, so I didn't have a bunch of money to, just splurge on my wardrobe. I would like to, but I didn't. So going back to the laundry thing, I'm like, if you can figure it out on a budget, let's do that.
Let's do it.
I'm all about saving some money because them gym membership fees,
It costs too much.
They cost too much.
I'm with you. I work out at home. I have all my little stuff right there at home. I would rather work out at home than, being in the gym and having that personal space too.
Having a personal space, it allows you to work out in whatever you want to work out in. Sometimes I don't have the energy to get dressed, but I do have the energy to do like 15 minutes. So I'll do it in my robe or whatever. So if I can, I'll be in a house dress on my pedal bike. Like, look, let's get this done.
Look, and you know what? Let me tell you, TikTok is so dangerous, okay? Because I saw this pedal step stool that keeps coming across my
That thing look
timeline.
hard.
And I said, have you seen it?
I've
and I
seen
said, look,
it.
y'all trying to make me buy this step stool, and I think I'm going to just buckle down and get it, okay? And so I can be in my robe.
I don't have the coordination, child. I know my strengths and weaknesses, and I can't do that.
So, speaking of social media, I know that, which I couldn't believe when I read, that you were banned on social media for promoting social injustice in our community. And so, first of all, that was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Like, how did you bounce from
crazy.
that? How did you even say, hey, I'm banned and this is what I'm banned for, and bouncing back from that? Like, that's...
So Instagram banned my name. So I was Beautifully Me.
Okay.
It was a play on beautiful and then Tiffany, and it was just like a whole thing.
But let me tell you something. That beautiful, love it.
Yeah, it was catchy, right?
It was very catchy.
So I loved it, but I believe in using my platform for things that I believe in, body positivity, equal rights, blacks being seen. Like, we're creatives and we're, the hit makers. We should be addressed and seen. And at the time, Rihanna had posted at a award show, hey, our white friends, pull up, like, help us. Y'all see what they're doing to us. Y'all are seeing the news like we are. You should be involved. And I reposted that with a long caption.
No, you good.
With a long caption of how I felt about it. And I went to promote, I think I was doing Fashion Nova or something at the time. I went to promote it and none of my links would work. And every time you used my name, you couldn't. And then when I logged in, it was like banned. And then it was like terrorist. They called me a terrorist.
Wow.
I was sharing inappropriate activity because I was saying, this is not right.
Wow.
It sucked. It really sucked. It really hurt because I felt like that was the end. I had built this platform and now I can't even use it. So, like, what do? I shifted gears. I changed to by Tiffany Smith. I flipped everything over and I started from scratch.
Wow.
And it was a blessing. I needed to change. I needed to move.
Yeah.
And it made me move,
And I'm telling you, God, He makes us do stuff in His time and in His season.
He does.
And so and you never know. And He always gets you off guard, child.
It caught me
Everything will be going
off guard.
so smooth and good. And then He's like, let me just switch it up for you a little bit. I'm not harming you, but let me switch it up.
And I needed to really shift. And I was contemplating, how am I going to shift? How am I going to move? Yeah. But I was holding on so hard to what I had that I couldn't release that to get to the next. And God was like, okay, sis, I got you. Sit right there.
And the thing is that he's like, if you don't do it, I'm going to do it for you.
I'm going to do it for you.
Because Charlie doing it to me right now, okay? So I understand.
And those times where you're being tested and shifted can be so hard. You're like, what do I do? How do I do this?
It is. But one thing that my really good friend always tells me is that he's not doing it to you. He's doing it for you.
Very
so that
much.
you can move on to where you can be where he wants you to be into that next journey.
And that's a bar right there, because it was truly for me.
Yeah.
My life as a content creator versus my life now as helping others
you
content
trade
create.
it for nothing, I bet. Nothing.
I absolutely love it. I love not having to be the center of everything, but still facilitate those who want to be.
Right. And so how do you incorporate your faith and, the empowerment into your boutique, because you have a boutique agency, right? To your clients that you serve,
With them, I'm always pouring into them too, and letting them know that they can do it. I believe that when you're a person of faith and you believe in the goodness of God, that you need to sow seeds into others, because he does it so much for you.
Yes.
Sowing Seeds podcast.
Yep, Sowing Seed podcast, powered by Fashion by Faith.
Period. So it's just like, when my clients come to me, I want them to feel the most beautiful. I want them to feel like I have everything under control. I want them to feel secure with my services. And I think that pouring into them in that way and taking that off of their plate so they can be the best version of themselves. It's a beautiful circle.
It is. It really is. And when you have that backing, it just lets you perform and do what you need to do better too.
Yeah.
When you have that security, when you have that empowerment, and it really makes a big difference, because those things that you're not having to deal with on the back end. And you always need a little encouragement all the time.
You need that encouragement. You need all of it. And it just makes you feel better. I think that everyone has a purpose in this world.
Everyone does.
Everyone. And they shine brightest. But the beautiful thing is, my brightness and your brightness are different, but together they make something so beautiful, so special. And I just wish people would roll into collaborating more.
Give me a high five on that. But you know what? People just don't like to do it. I mean,
they don't.
For some reason, it's so hard for, people to say, okay, let's collaborate. It's always, something that ends up happening sometimes. Now, you do have people where you can collaborate and things work well, but sometimes, you just have to find the right niche and the right people. But to me, collaboration over everything, that's how you succeed. That's how you grow.
Oh,
that's
my
how
goodness.
you meet people.
Yes.
And everybody doesn't understand that you cannot do anything on your own.
You can't.
You
get
can't.
further together, and being able to recognize where your weaknesses are and get with somebody. I think the problem with collaborating for some people, just assuming, is that at some point in their life, someone tried to dim their light. So they're afraid that now that they have their light and they found it again,
over there just
they're
covering it. They're like, ooh.
They're like, no, I don't want to, that kind of thing. But just knowing that I can't take from you and you can't take from me.
What God has for me is for me. What God has for you is for you.
Every time.
It doesn't.
And it makes a difference when we can just put it together and just be a beautiful collaboration,
Yeah. So I love that. So with influencing, this is something that is heavy on the market now. Everybody, you look up, everybody is an influencer. I'm an influencer. You're an influencer. You get a car.
Everybody.
In a world of influencers, how do you find or know that someone has that it factor when you see that they're an influencer?
I think that everybody has a potential of having a it factor. I don't think that every it factor is made for social media. I think that everybody has a special talent that could be the it factor, right? But with that it factor, sometimes what your purpose isn't in the spotlight. We forget how many supporting roles we need for that person to shine in the front, and your role may be in the back, but it doesn't mean that you're less than. It just means that that's where you're placed to be, and that's where you're supposed to do your best work. There are amazing producers out there, right? They can produce something that's so good, But if you try to have them sing a song, that ain't
They
their
ain't gonna be able to do
stuff.
it.
But just imagine if they shied away from producing because they wanted to sing so bad, how we would be missing their talents.
Yeah.
So with the influencer world and how everybody wants to do it, I think because partially it's a money grab, you're thinking,
is.
hey, if I can show my clothes and travel, that's what I want to do, you know? But I just think that seeing that it factor is someone who truly is passionate about sharing something, because that it factor comes from your purpose and what you're sharing and what you're giving to the world. Our favorite influencers, they're teaching us something.
They are.
They're giving us a smile because they're entertaining
Yes.
us. They're giving us something because they're giving us tips.
Right.
If you don't have those three things that you're giving and you're just wanting the accolades
It's
or
not-
whatever, it doesn't come off.
Yep.
So you're not going to be.
You have to be authentic, and that's something that a lot of people sometimes lack.
Yeah.
And even doing that and being in that space, I just feel that when you're authentic and you're yourself, it makes a big difference. And I know for me, I struggle with that a whole lot.
Yeah.
I struggled with me, even with my podcast, me not being who Nicole is, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about what others are going to say or what it's going to be or what I should be. And so, being myself and being
Yeah.
comfortable in myself, I mean, it makes everything just shine, because you can't be
does.
no one with you. It's only one you.
You can't be nobody but you.
No
and
one but you.
Embracing you and loving you is a self thing, to where when you go out into the world, you can still be that. You can
Yep.
still love on that, and it doesn't
can.
feel so competitive. But those second guesses and that, that negative self-talk, that's something
That's toxic. It's toxic.
It's toxic to
It's real
yourself,
toxic.
yeah.
And it is. And being an influencer, I know that it's a lot of pressure. That's what it looks like to me.
It's a lot of pressure. That's why, honestly, that's why I'm working my way to the back.
Yeah.
Because of all the pressure that it is. People will literally, you can make the best post about something, feel
Right.
so good about yourself.
Right.
It could be positive, and then somebody can come in your comments and be like, your second toe off, though.
Not your second toe off.
I see your press on nail chip. Like they're coming at you, and it's like, is that what people see? So all of the positive, you're just looking at that one negative, and now it's normalized to where people are mean on the internet.
They are so
They're so mean. I don't like it.
They are so mean. And I'm like, you live in your bubble and mind your business and just stop it. If you don't like it, why do you have to comment? But I'm telling you now, sometimes when you're looking at other things on social media, the comments are hilarious when it's not about you.
And that's the thing. Like, I wish we had a good balance.
We
But
had a
some
good
things
balance.
are funny. Like,
some
come
of
on.
them are really funny,
Yeah.
but when you are promoting, positive things, and you are promoting yourself, and you're out there and you're influencer and you're showcasing yourself to the world. And one thing people don't understand, and me being, on my journey of where I am, putting yourself out there is a lot. And
It's a
it's scary,
lot.
and
It's so
it takes a
scary.
lot. And people don't understand that when you're in that spotlight, that camera, you're putting yourself out there.
You're putting yourself out there. You're putting your gifts out there to be criticized and
All
picked
day,
apart
every day.
and everything. It's scary.
It is.
So yeah, I commend anybody that's putting themselves out there. Anybody that's giving it a try.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it factor is truly going to be how you're serving your community, and I want people to recognize that before getting into social media content creation. If they're wanting to have a platform, if they're wanting to be an influencer, think about how you can service your community, whatever community that is. Because that's going to be your bread
your
and
target
butter.
and your brand. You have to have your brand to know what you're going to stand on. It's basically what you're saying with the influence.
Because otherwise, you're just throwing stuff out there. You're not passionate about it. You're throwing
very
stuff out there. It's not authentic.
Yeah.
So then you're spinning your wheels because you're not getting the results that you want, and then you give up. When you could have just been yourself, served your community, and been successful that way.
Say it again.
Yes.
Say it again.
Love
Put the people in the
yourself,
back.
encourage yourself, serve your community, success.
And success.
Boom,
That's
boom.
it. That's it. So, in this industry, how, especially you being a published model. Did you hear that? A published model. Okay. How do you deal with, the stigma of the fashion industry and, you know, who you are as hashtag by Tiffany Smith. How do you, you know, even deal with that? Because at times, I mean, I just feel like anyway, society put us in a box. And I do know that now that there is, like you said, a community for everything, everyone, and everybody, but the world still has its own gist of what they think. So how do you, you know, navigate that and still have that, you know, this is me. I'm that girl. She is she. She is her. I am she.
Yes. When I was modeling back in the day, I really enjoyed being with other plus size models because they made me feel comfortable in my body and my space. Working with plus size photographers helped a lot too. But then also just recognizing that even though my body is not a size 2, it's still worthy, it's still beautiful. It is. And it's still, you know, desirable. You know, I think that's the part we get so stuck on what size we are, what we look like, because we're wondering how people are going to perceive us in that way, right? But if we already show up confident about we're here and we're taking up space and that's all right, then it just helps things, you know, overall. I really do think that. And then when I was modeling, I never did runways like for New York Fashion Week or anything like that. So I think the arenas that I was in were with people who looked like me. So it felt right. You know, they always say go where you're appreciated. And that's what I did with modeling. I went somewhere where I was appreciated, to where my size was something that they needed to see, to where I can encourage other women, to where if you want to model, you can do it too. To where people can kind of see my journey of me just taking pictures with my phone at the time to being inside of a magazine. So it was really nice.
I know. I mean, and how do you feel when you see yourself, like when you saw yourself the first time in a magazine, like how were you like?
I was geeked. Like, are you serious? Me? Like, little old me. So I was just like so excited. And these were smaller publications, but I felt like it could have been Vogue in my mind because they selected me, they wanted me, and they did the work to put me in there. And I'm forever grateful. Shout out to everybody that supported my modeling journey. I absolutely loved it because it just really showcased how when your community shows up for you, how you can go far in your space.
So what was your first big your first big contributing gig, or your interview of who you interviewed?
I've been very lucky to interview a lot of big folks, and it's usually red carpet stuff so far.
Red carpet seems so fun. Like it's like it seems like it's just like, hey, how you doing? You know, what you wearing, or you know, just what's going on. Who are you here to see? I mean, red carpets just give exciting, fun vibes to me.
They're exciting.
But it looks hectic though.
Very hectic. Learning how hectic the red carpet can be and maneuvering it is truly a skill set. But I love being able just to talk to anybody and everybody. I've been able to talk to my greats, people that I've enjoyed as a child, people that I love now. Like I just had a quick little interview with October London. I've been able to talk with Nene Leakes. I was able to talk with her really quickly at Claire's show. I was able to talk to Ty really quickly. Like these are the people that I geek out
all day, every
day. I'm
day.
like, y'all are talking to me. We're having a conversation, and you've been on my mood board for years. Wow.
Isn't it amazing when God brings that to you, when you're like, okay, this is something that I, you know, ask God for. This is something that I want. And when you have it in your presence, it's like, okay, God, I see you showing up. I see you.
I see you, God. When I'll get to wake up in New York City and I was paid to be there, I was flown to be there, I'm asked to contribute my gifts to be there. Every time, like I say a prayer every morning that I arrive somewhere, and I'm just like, I can't believe
it.
This is what I get to do. I'm so thankful. I'm so humble about it. And I know that if I keep working hard, I can keep going. But these 3 years since COVID has really shown me that when you put hard work and your faith and good vibrations out to people, what can circle back to you. And having that hard work and intention align with your belief in God, it is a trifecta.
Girl, let me tell you something that you can't even mess with.
You can't even mess with. And it's
even
like,
if you try.
I can't believe I get to do these kind of things. I can't believe this gets to be my life. And I'm just so grateful for it all.
That's awesome. And you know, I just know too, you know, when you are moving in your purpose, it just feels real. It feels good, you know? It really does. And it seems like that is what you have done just here on out.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is next for Tiffany Smith? By Tiffany Smith. What is next for you?
So right now I have a content creation class I'm doing for free for all of the newbies coming up, because I want to teach them the missteps I did and my whoopsies and I ain't doing that no more. You know, like you gotta learn, you know, and since I've learned so much, I want to share what I've learned.
Okay.
One of my favorite artists is Jay-Z, and he has a quote. He's like, Hove did that, so hopefully you ain't got to go through that. And I'm like, if I can share my experience, you don't have to go through
what I went through.
Yeah, you can be like, okay, Tiff said that was bad. Let me jump over
here.
Or if I'm going to go this route, at least I'm aware. You know, you don't always have to be on guard, but if you're aware of what you're walking into, that can be a whole different experience too, you know? So yeah, for me, I just want to help those up and coming. I want to continue getting content clients so I can continue building my boutique. And then continue doing good work with the company that I'm with, telling Black stories, beautiful content popping out, because I'm a perfectionist.
Pushing it out. Push it.
So I just want all of the good things coming, because honestly, I said it earlier this year, I would love to have an agency of content creators, and not only content creators that are influencing themselves, but that can come and pair with the Nicoles of the world. And like, okay, you're in Houston, I have the perfect girl I can send you that's already been vetted, that's already has my perfectionisms, already knows how to move social media management, like they're being taught by me to where they can serve others. So that's my goal. I don't know how I'm gonna make it work.
No, we already spoken in the atmosphere. So God is he's already
Making
working
it
on it.
away.
It's gonna make it away. So when it's in your heart, it's gonna already come. So
Because I think it'll be beautiful, because there's so many
and
people. It's needed. There's so many people that are like, I don't have the time for this. I'm focused on my business. And it's like, that makes sense. But there's somebody that's super creative that would love to focus on your business too, but from a different scope. So if I can teach that person how to properly serve, how to capture things good, and how to showcase it, then everybody wins.
Everybody wins. And I love that. I love that. I love that. I see that for you too. I can,
because again, I love kids. I love teaching. I think that's part of the things that I do well. So just being able to orchestrate and facilitate others into their journey is something I think is really fun and cool.
Okay, well, I so look forward to everything that you have coming up. If it's any way that I can support, I'm there. I'm waiting for this apparel line to come back out too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, you know, if there's anything else you want everyone to know, where to find you at, where they can see you.
Yes, I am by Tiffany Smith on all platforms. By Tiffany Smith. By TiffanySmith.com as well. And follow me, girl. Like, say hey. I'll be like, hey back, and we could be cool.
I want to thank you for coming, because, you know, sowing seeds is something that is true and dear to my heart. God gave me this about sowing seeds, you know, how it's spelled, how it's done. And I thank you for sowing a seed in me. This is only our second time that we met. And, you know, I reached out to you on IG, and you was like, I'm there. Yes,
absolutely.
I'm here.
Let's make it work.
And so I am just so grateful, and I'm so thankful. And, you know, I just really look forward to everything that you have coming up.
Thank you. This has been wonderful. I always get like so nervous when I'm talking about me. That's something that I'm working on, being able to talk about myself. But it's truly shown how passionate you are. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, when you're passionate and you're doing something from a place of, I love this and I want to share this, it comes off completely different. So you can tell that you love it. You're so fashionable. So I get the sewing piece.
Yes.
And I love it. I think that's a great combination, because just because you love God and you're following your faith, you can look good for him.
You can still look good for him. And it's about your journey. I want people to be able to know that we've all had a journey. I've had a journey. You've had a journey. And we're still on our journey. And it's just about how God God has moved us to where we are. That's it. And I just love to hear people's stories and for them to share their testimony and to them to share their ministry, because everybody has their own ministry. They just don't know that they have it, y'all. And so that is what it's about. And so I'm just glad that you're able to be a part of it.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Thank
anytime.
you so much,
Absolutely
Tiffany.
anytime.
Thank you for tuning in to another inspiring episode of the Sow and Seed podcast with your host, Nicole Mace Jackson, and our incredible guest, the Tiffany Smith. Remember, every stitch we take in life sews the fabric of our journey. Join us next time as we continue to cultivate creativity, passion, and growth. Until then, keep sowing seeds of possibility in every single thing you do. Hold on, child. Go
Hold
like
on.
this,
Yeah,
child.
I feel like I'm melting.
Yeah,
Can we
child,
pause really quick? I'm sorry, y'all.
Look, we got to look good on the camera. So
And
I know how it feels.
I have a blotter. I do, but it's in that back room.
Is it in like a certain bag? I'll bring you the bag.
Yes, that big queen bag. All of my stuff is in there. Yep. Thank you.
I know how it is.
I can feel it. I'm like, hold up. I feel like I'm drippy. Thank you.
Jane.
Would you like some ice cream?
I'm good.
Yeah, just to let a little bit of air in. I think it's the lights too. I didn't.
They will. It'll do it to you.
And this hair too, baby.
Let me tell you something. When I tell you that's your signature hair, that's what I'm talking about too. I love that hair on you. When I tell you that
It's not only your aesthetic, but your personality.
it's your personality, yeah. And the glasses.
If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense.
So it's like, hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I don't know. I'm feeling like, okay.
Well, that is it for the Sow and Seed podcast. Thank you so much for joining. And we have our girl Tiffany Smith. What's the outro? I gotta do the outro.
It's on the screen.
Oh, it's on there? Girl, child, help me, Tiffany. Okay. All right.
Oh, that was great. I hope y'all were able to get some good clips out of that.